In the bovine world, fights can never be predicted. One moment, everything's cool. The other, violence is the only language that anyone can speak. They're big, and they're heavy enough to cause havoc, and once they get going, it's almost impossible to stop them, which is exactly what we're about to see today. A wolf decided to mess with the wrong opponent here, a yak. Given the size difference, it was pretty clear who would win in the end. The wolf, much smaller, started by harassing the yak, probably thinking that it could intimidate it. But the yak wasn't having it, and after a few seconds, the yak had had enough and slammed its horns into the wolf with full force. The impact was so strong that it sent the wolf flying. After such a violent response, I think it's safe to assume that the wolf won't be picking a fight with a yak anytime soon. The lesson was a very memorable one, and the wolf will likely think twice before trying any stunts like that again. Who needs superheroes when you got a mother yak on duty? A snow leopard was hiding among the rocks atop a mountain, quietly stalking a herd of yaks. It moved with silent steps and suddenly burst into a run. The yaks scattered in all directions, but the snow leopard singled out a calf. While the rest fled, the mother stayed for her calf. She rushed back and started butting the snow leopard with her horns. The predator held on tight at first, unwilling to let go. Undeterred, the mother yak rammed it with even more force, finally making it release the calf. She successfully rescued her little one from the snow leopard's jaws. The mother hugged the calf close and began licking it, showing her love and joy that it had survived. Ever seen two friends turn into rivals in a heartbeat? Two yaks were peacefully standing side by side here, minding their own business. Suddenly, without any warning, they started fighting and butting each other with all their might. Since they were equally matched in strength and size, it was impossible to tell who had the upper hand. Both had those massive, powerful horns and used them fiercely against each other. In the end, neither could claim victory over the other. No one knew what sparked the sudden brawl, but it's clear that the conflict remained unsolved. Maybe they just couldn't agree on who had the better grass. It's funny how quickly things can escalate in the animal kingdom. Size doesn't always guarantee victory, as this showdown clearly proved. A Cape buffalo, one of Africa's big five and larger than an Nguni bull, found itself on the losing side of a sudden confrontation. Despite its massive stature and reputation, the Cape buffalo was dominated by the bull, who had complete control during the battle. The bull completely humiliated the bigger animal, showing that courage and assertiveness can trump size. Both had strong horns, but the bull's willingness to confront and impose control made all the difference. It's not every day that you see a smaller animal put a giant in its place, is it? These bulls charged at one another at full speed, heads down and ready to clash. Within seconds, they collided with immense force, their powerful horns meeting head-on. Both animals immediately fell to the ground upon impact, but one of them lost consciousness as well. That's what happens when two powerful forces collide. Both of them get wrecked, but one more so than the other due to all kinds of factors. It's a risky game where nobody really wins, but that's nature for you. Everything was perfectly fine here until a giant yak lost its cool. I'm not really sure what made it suddenly become aggressive like that, but it might have felt threatened by the presence of the bull that it attacked. Or maybe there were some females there that it wanted to impress. Either way, things escalated very quickly, and as soon as the yak started attacking, the bull responded in the same manner, and a brutal battle erupted. Sadly though, we did not get to see how the battle ended, as the clip was cut too short. Being the deadly giants that they are is just one of the reasons why these beasts are terrifying, but being so hot-tempered and unpredictable is the main reason why they're so dangerous. Check this one out. A fierce confrontation broke out between a domestic yak and a wild yak. They were both determined to inflict the most amount of damage upon the other, but only one of them managed to do that, the wild yak. They were nearly equal in size, making it hard to tell them apart. However, there was an easy way to differentiate them by their horns. Wild yaks have larger horns that are set farther apart, while domestic yaks have relatively smaller ones that are closer together. In this battle, the wild yak proved that just having the word wild in your name will make you many times stronger, as it completely destroyed the domestic yak and made it look very easy too. An insane cow decided to attack the wrong yak here, thinking that it could challenge it, and a violent confrontation broke out between them. The cow approached the yak and tried to butt it, but the yak quickly retaliated, striking back with unrestrained fury. It used its huge horns to literally lift the cow and knock it down to the ground, completely shocking the arrogant cow by how strong it was. The cow quickly realized who was the dominant one, and it must have been wishing that it hadn't made such a foolish mistake as it was running for its life. She was lucky that the yak didn't try to chase it and kill it like it usually does with the males that try to challenge it. She was lucky she was a female. Someone was able to film a short video of a buffalo and a bull fighting for dominance as they were surrounded by the rest of the herd. The buffalo tried to defend itself and resist, but the bull was just too powerful. Even though the buffalo was a bit larger, the bull was in total control. I think the reason behind this is that bulls are always fighting against each other, unlike buffaloes. Buffaloes mostly have to defend against predators, which doesn't usually require a lot of headbutting. Bulls, on the other hand, are always challenging one another and fighting amongst themselves for dominance, which results in making them experts at this kind of fighting. This is just my own theory, but what do you guys think? While this cow was digging in the ground for some unknown reason, it spotted a Bacot bull walking nearby and it paused. As the newcomer approached and started getting ready to fight, the cow felt danger and it started butting the bull with all its might, delivering a preemptive strike. They fought for a bit and then stopped after the black Bacot realized the cow wouldn't stand idly, but would defend itself and resist. Maybe the bull just wanted to say hello. But things escalated quickly. In the end, they both seemed to agree that fighting wasn't worth it. Here's a small bull that seemed like it was holding its own against a yak that decided to challenge at first. The yak was probably hoping for the bull to realize how much stronger the yak was and run away without having to harm it. But just like any other bull, this one was super stubborn, and it wouldn't back down easily. The yak was forced to use its actual strength and push the bull back and humiliate it. It threw the bull back like it was nothing, and after slamming to the ground and realizing what a foolish mistake it had made, the bull ran like it had never run before, with fear making it go faster and faster. Another fight erupted out of nowhere between a yak and a bull here. Everything was calm until one yak decided to headbutt a bull, and the battle started. The battle was brutal as usual, and both giants refusing to back down. They were both of equal strength this time too, which made things even more complicated. They kept going at it like their lives depended on it, but sadly for us, the clip ended before we could see what happened in the end. When this yak decided to challenge another one, it had no idea how things were going to turn out. The other yak turned out to be much stronger, and after the initial attack, the aggressor ended up riding on the other yak's horns and getting stabbed non-stop. All the yak wanted at this point was to get away, and as soon as its hooves could touch the ground, it ran out of there as fast as it could.